students, welcome back to Practical English. Today we are going to talk about Chapter 14, Building or Architecture. Last week, we discussed about Chapter 13, Your Body Talks. You know, your body language varies from country to country, from culture to culture, and you have to be very observant so you can tell the differences and not to offend any people. And today, we keep on moving to another article, building or architecture. You have to be very observant to tell the differences too. And today we have a very talented architect, and he is also a great English teacher in NTIT. And he's Simon Lin. He designed Nangang 捷运站 and many other 捷运站 too, but not finished yet. Let's welcome our panelist, Simon Lin.
Hi, Joy.
Hello.
Nice to be here again. But yes, I have designed several MRT stations, but some of them are still under construction right now. I hopefully that they will be finished.
Pretty soon.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Some of the projects still been going on for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder it will never be finished.
I know, I understand, yeah. But still, students, you can go to the Nangang 捷运站 to witness Simon's great.
Okay, just don't say anything bad about me, all right? Just say it's great, okay?
Yeah, of course, it's great, yeah. First of all, architect Simon Lin, what is a building?
Well, a building basically is any kind of construction that allow human to have any kind of activity inside it. It could be as small as a pavilion.
Yes.
Or it could be as big as a stadium, or
Okay.
even an airport. Anything that accommodates, allow people to have activity could be called a building.
Okay, I see. Pavilion 是一个亭子. It doesn't have any wall around it, but still it's a building, right?
Yes.
And what is an architecture?
Well, architecture, it's basically it's building. But more than just accommodating human activities, it should have other significance, such as you have the significance in terms of culture or aesthetics. That means in terms of considering what is beautiful or what is not.
Yeah, that's right. So two elements. One is the cultural, the
Right.
other one is about the beauty.
Right.
But it sounds very subjective though.
Yes, definitely. Maybe to some people, they consider this is a good architecture, but on other people's eye, maybe they think it's only a building. It doesn't mean anything. So yes, you're right, it's very subjective.
Yes, and we will talk more about that in our content. So now let's move to our first paragraph. Since the beginning of time, humans have been seeking refuge in nature to shield themselves from elements of weather and threats of wild beasts.
自古以来，人们就在大自然里面寻找庇护所，躲避天候以及野兽的威胁。
With experience and wisdom, people used whatever materials they could get from nature.
有了经验跟智慧以后呢，人们会从自然界里面找到一些可用的材料，
such as wood, stones, mud, etc.,
比如说木头、石头、泥土等等，
to build their shelters.
来建造他们的庇护所。
Even till this day, we still use some of these materials for construction.
直到现在呢，我们在建筑的时候，我们仍然会用到这些材料。
Okay, so Simon, first question is, the building, the architecture is for protect people from the bad weather and from the threats of wild beasts.
Right.
Nowadays, we don't have wild beasts to attack people anymore, right?
Right.
So, what other consideration have you to think about when you design an architecture?
Okay, that's a very good question. Yes, since now this is 21st century, people no longer need to build any shelter from any animals or weathers anymore. Instead, actually, people build homes. It's more to show their, to actually as a symbol of their social status.
Yeah.
They want to be more comfortable. They want to have more space,
Yes.
more light, more
Okay.
convenient, more efficient.
Yes.
And that has become extra value, actually become more important than just simply a shelter.
That's right. Like some mansions, some luxurious houses, right? 豪宅.
Yes.
Or, but still, I think you have to consider about the earthquake.
Definitely.
Right?
I think that's the basic requirement. Any kind of construction, whether it's a building or it's architecture, the most significant consideration is be safe.
Okay, I see. Can you tell us an example that you think that's a good architecture, how about a good home, a good house for you?
Well, I guess that's again it's very subjective because maybe if everybody think that the best home is their own home.
Yeah.
But in order to have a more objective means for consideration is I like to use some maybe mid-income home, which is not very luxury, but still
Okay.
consider as of a very good taste.
That's right.
Somewhere like in the
非诚勿扰.
yeah, you can see in that movie. I don't know if students seen the movie or not. You can see the very beautiful, although not very luxury, but it's very pleasant. It's a very nice environment to live in. Not only because it's had very good view, also it is a very environmentally friendly.
That's true.
And so I think that'll probably become a major trend of the future building design.
Go greener.
Yes.
And you don't use air conditioning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. 非诚勿扰2, the building in Hainan Island.
Right.
Yeah, if you see the movie, you take a look at the house. Yeah, it's very special.
Right.
And now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. Number 1, architecture, noun.
名词，建筑。
This is the most impressive architecture I've seen on this trip.
这个是我这次旅行见到最令人难忘的建筑。
Number 2, refuge, noun.
名词，避难庇护所。
During the storm, we took refuge in the basement of a big building.
在暴风雨中，我们躲在一栋大楼下面。
Number 3, element, noun.
名词，成分要素。
Kindness and thoughtfulness are elements of being a sweet girl.
善良和体贴是成为甜心女孩的要素。
Number 4, material, noun.
名词，建筑材料或者原料。
What kind of materials do you need for that painting?
你画那幅画需要用什么材料？
Students, we will talk about the materials later. Now let's take a break. Students, welcome back. Simon, can we talk a little bit about the materials for the architecture?
Yes.
Yeah, what else are we using now?
Well, we talk about those materials that we can get from nature, such
Yes,
as wood,
wood,
stone,
stone,
brick,
mud.
even wood. But now, since this is a 21st century, so people use other material, more advanced, like glass,
Yes.
steel.
Okay.
Sometimes you can even see buildings or architecture built out of plastic, even paper.
Even paper?
Right.
Can they handle the weight?
Oh yeah, definitely, because paper itself is very lightweighted, so it's a very nice, convenient, and very efficient building material. Like there's a one in Puli, they called paper chapel, 纸教堂. That actually was totally moved in from Japan.
Oh, really?
Right, and now after some time they're going to be moved to another place.
I
Yes.
see.
So I think that's a very good demonstration how those building material could be used. And to demonstrate this very new, different ways of thinking.
Is
in
it
terms of-
waterproof?
Oh yes, it is waterproof.
Waterproof.
Yes.
I see. That's interesting.
Right.
Okay, now let's learn more for the rest of the article. Let's get into the paragraph 2. With the advance of civilization,
随着文明进步，
humans have developed the shelter into something more sophisticated, namely a building or architecture.
人类的庇护所已经演变成更繁复的建筑或者是建物。
Basically, architecture is a building.
基本上，所有的建筑都算是建物。
But not all buildings could be categorized as architecture.
但是不是所有的建物都算作是建筑。
The major difference between them is the significance in culture and aesthetics.
其中主要的差异，在于文化以及美学的意涵。
We know it's very hard to describe by words of what is beautiful, what is ugly, what is a building, what is the architecture. So what about let's just show you the picture, and we will tell you more by showing you the pictures.
Yes.
And can we have the ugly building?
Oh yeah, you can look at this one. Well, I guess everyone will agree this is this is basically an apartment, but nobody will think actually it's beautiful, right? It's more like some kind of bird cage. So I guess in terms of this, I guess most people agree it's only a building, not necessarily a good architecture.
But it's okay. It's not that ugly though, because in Taiwan we can see that in many places.
Well,
Right?
unfortunately, the picture that you saw happened to be my home.
Your home.
Yes.
Your humble home.
Yes, that's where I live.
Oh, okay. And how about show us the beautiful one?
Okay, the next picture you will see, it's the headquarters of BMW the office in Munich.
Munich, yes.
And this, you can see, it's totally built out of the glass, and the form, it's so innovative. And I guess everybody agrees this is a very nice piece of beautiful architecture, not just a building.
It looks like it's twisting.
Yes, the designer deliberately trying to twist this formation to have this kind of floating feelings, or this kind of circular feelings.
Is it practical
Yes.
for the space usage?
Yes, because the way it's twisted, so the structure they use is very efficient. They don't have to use too many columns or beams. Actually, that's
Okay.
very, very environmental friendly as well.
Oh,
And it
that's
also
very
provides
smart.
a bigger space for uses.
Wow. Then why don't we just use that kind of a structure?
Well, again, that requires some
Technical-
careful calculation and
Okay.
very careful assemblies.
Do you mean it's a high tech?
Very, very high tech.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, and it's very expensive too.
At this moment, yes, it's very expensive.
Okay, good. Now let's talk about some of the vocabulary. Number 5, sophisticated adjective.
形容词，老于世故的。
Emma is a sophisticated woman.
Emma 是一个老于世故的女生。
Number 6, categorize, verb.
动词，列入什么的范畴，分类。
David categorized these materials as wood and metal.
David 把这些材料分类成木材以及金属。
Number 7, significance, noun.
名词，重要或重要性。
The position of his father at home was of little significance.
他父亲在家里的地位无足轻重。
Number 8, aesthetic, adjective.
形容词，美学，美学上的。
The campus has certain aesthetic qualities fit for the environment.
这校园的美感很符合其环境。
Students, we want to learn more about the architecture. Let's move to the paragraph 3. A building, regardless of its size, function, and cost,
建筑物无论其大小、功能和造价如何，
is just a shelter or piece of construction if it lacks cultural and aesthetic significance.
如果它缺乏文化以及美学的意涵，就只能算是一个遮蔽物或者一个构造物而已。
For example, makeshift factories composed of a simple steel frame and metal sheets, which can be seen everywhere in the middle of rice paddies in Taiwan.
比如说，在台湾稻田中，到处都可以看得到的简易的钢架铁皮屋工厂，
Or the crudely assembled booth in which scantily dressed girls sell bitter nuts.
或者随便拼凑起来，让穿着很清凉的辣妹卖槟榔的槟榔摊。
Both of them perform basic functions as buildings, but they are not architecture.
这两个都有其建物的基本功能，但是算不上建筑。
Here, Simon, can you talk a little bit about what is a makeshift factory?
Well, makeshift, as you can see from the word shift, means changing, so
Yeah.
which means any kind of construction that was built, but doesn't mean to be last for a very long time. It's not
Okay.
permanent. Maybe it will be built for a short period of time, and after a while, it'll be torn down
That's
and be
right.
turned into other purposes.
Okay, or to move to other places.
Right.
Like a sheet metal shed,
You're right.
TPU.
Yes.
Okay. And can you explain a little bit what is a crudely?
Oh, okay. Crudely means the material itself may be very rough or raw,
Okay.
or it could be the manner,
Yes.
the way you do things, which is very, very careless, very
Okay.
unrefined.
Okay.
That can also be used as crude.
Like a crude oil,
Right.
原油.
Yes.
It's not refined.
Right.
Okay. And scantily,
Scantily means very little,
very little.
very, very few amount.
Just like a butternut girls, they wear the bikinis.
Yeah, they wear almost nothing.
Okay. Okay, that's good. And here, do we have any picture to show them?
Sometimes even the material itself could be very crude.
Okay.
But maybe the way, the manner it was constructed is very, very fine. So still, the material could be crude, but the manner could be very well refined. For example, a very famous architect, Anton
Yeah.
Zhongxiong,
Okay.
he liked to use very rough material or crude material, like we call bare concrete,
Okay.
清水模.
Sure.
But the result is very, very nice, very delicate,
Okay.
like you see in the picture.
Okay.
Or in Taiwan, we also have similar situation. Like there's a very famous architecture in Sanyi, 木雕博物馆. They
Yes.
also use the spare concrete, and they use the form to reflect the delicate texture of the wood. So it's a very good example.
So it's not the 清水模 in
Yes,
Sanyi
it's also
Museum?
it's also bare concrete. It's also 清水模, but somehow because the texture of the form that reflect totally different material.
I see.
This kind of texture. Yes.
你是说它的形式所模仿的是不一样的？它是仿木材的
是它的模板。
模板。
因为它模板是用这个原木做出来的，所以它这个拆了模之后，那个模板在那个混凝土上显示出来，这个模板的这个纹路非常的漂亮。
I see, I see. See, we have learned a lot from this great architect. Now let's take a break, students. Simon, I have another question for you. So, according to Anton Zhongxiong's way of making the 清水模,
Yes.
so you can have different ways to do that, right?
Yes, bare concrete actually
Yeah.
is not just a smooth surface. Actually, it could be it could be any kind of texture.
I see.
Yes.
So maybe you can put some shear forms
Yes.
on it?
Definitely, I see some people put some shells. Yes, they did
Okay.
that. Wood
Okay.
or even plastic. Anything could be possible.
How about put some roses?
I haven't seen that yet, but it could be a possible way. Yes, it could be.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. Number 9, compose. Verb.
动词构图写作，
He composes poetry in his spare time.
他用空闲时间写诗。
Number 10, crudely. Adverb.
副词天然未加修饰的，
The little girl's behaviors were crudely developed.
是小女孩的行为毫无修饰。
Number 11, assemble. Verb.
动词组装装配，
He was busy assembling the bike.
他忙着装配脚踏车。
Number 12, scantily. Adverb.
副词少量的缺乏的，
We suffer malnutrition since the food is so scantily available.
我们因为食物缺乏而营养不良。
Number 13, betel nut. Noun.
槟榔，
Don't chew those betel nuts. They can cause cancer.
不要嚼槟榔，它们会引起癌症。
Number 14, perform. Verb.
动词执行完成做。
Dr. Jones performed the heart operation with extreme care.
John 医生为病人做了很好的心脏手术。
We have two phrases here for your reference. The first one, for example,
譬如，
For example, Susan and James are good students. They are polite.
譬如 Susan 和 James， 他是好学生，他们很有礼貌。
Number 2, in the middle of.
在什么之间？
We are stuck in the middle of nowhere.
我们被困在不明之地。
Students, let's take a look at paragraph 4 to talk more about good architecture. In architecture, the most critical concerns are with the form, space, and atmosphere created through light and shadow.
建筑最关键的在于其造型、空间表现以及由光影所营造出来的氛围。
It requires great creativity in manipulating these elements
这要经过很好的创意来操作这些元素，
to express the technical, social, and aesthetic considerations.
以呈现其对于技术、社会以及美学上的考量。
The art and science of design are essential for achieving great architecture.
要成就伟大的建筑，设计里面包含的艺术以及科学是极其重要的。
Which is always perceived as a cultural symbol and as a work of art.
建筑也就成为文化象征以及艺术品。
That's why great civilizations are often identified by their architectural achievements.
所以，伟大的文明往往都有其建筑成就作为其代表象征。
Simon, here we have the most crucial concerns are with the form, space, and atmosphere created through light and shadow. It's a kind of abstract to us. Can you explain a little bit or give us an example?
Yes, I guess the best way to demonstrate this is from a picture that we can see.
Yeah.
The picture that you can see right now, it's a very famous building in Donghai Daxue called Lucy Chapel.
Yeah.
And you can see the form that it's very innovative. You seldom see this kind of this configuration. And also the interior, you can see how the light, how the shadow interact with each other to create a very, very unearthly or even spiritual atmosphere in the space.
Oh, that's right. The interior should look like the prayer.
Right.
Who is praying to the God.
Yes.
So when you are sitting in the chapel, you feel like you're so close to the God.
Exactly. Very divine.
That's right. Yeah, we both graduated from Donghai University.
Yes, that's our alma mater.
Yeah, that's right. And do you have anything to show, like the glass house of a BMW or some other pictures here?
Oh yeah, I would like to share with you another project that I have been working on. This is the newly finished MRT line in Nangang Jieyunzhan. That was designed by Humbly Yours. And well, as you can see, it's primarily made of steel and glasses. And that's, of course, compared to what you just saw on the BMW, that was totally different. Even though the same material, but somehow the reflection was totally different.
Of course. That's a reflection of our Chinese talented guy named Simon.
No. You're too kind. You're too kind.
Yeah. We are so honored to have you here.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. Number 15, critical, adjective.
形容词，紧要的、关键性、危急的。
That was the critical moment in saving his life.
那是救他性命的一个关键时刻。
Number 16, atmosphere, noun.
名词，气氛、氛围。
I like the atmosphere of this steakhouse.
我喜欢这家牛排馆的氛围。
Number 17, creativity, noun.
名词，创造力。
Lin is an artist with creativity.
Lin 是一个很有创造力的艺术家。
Number 18, manipulate, verb.
动词，运用、操作。
Do you know how to manipulate this device?
你会操作这个器具吗？
Number 19, consideration, noun.
名词，考虑、考量。
I will take those factors into consideration.
我会把那些因素考虑进去。
Number 20, achieve, verb.
动词，完成、实现。
I want to buy a house in 10 years and I will achieve that goal.
我要在10年之内买房子，而且最终我一定会达成目标。
Number 21, perceive, verb.
动词，感知、察觉。
I can't perceive any difference between these coins.
我看不出来这些硬币有什么差别。
Number 22, symbol, noun.
名词，象征、标志。
The white dove is a symbol of peace.
白色的鸽子是和平的象征。
Number 23, identify, verb.
动词确认、识别。
I cannot identify this signature.
我辨别不出来这是谁的签名。
Number 24, compatible, adjective.
形容词能共处的、可并立的。
This couple is compatible, so they seldom argue with each other.
这对夫妻很能相容，他们很少吵架。
Number 25, physical, adjective.
形容词身体的、肉体的。
Playing basketball is one form of physical exercise.
打篮球是体育活动的一种形式。
Number 26, environment, noun.
名词自然环境、生态环境。
It is highly important to preserve the environment.
保护我们的环境非常重要。
Number 27, context, noun.
名词上下文、来龙去脉。
You have to learn English words in their context.
记英文单字必须要知道它们的上下文。
Now let's move to our final paragraph. Paragraph 5. However, not all architecture is in good taste.
但是不是所有的建筑都是很有品味的。
Fancy architecture which is not compatible with its physical environment or cultural context.
如果很华丽的建筑没有配合它的环境或者文化脉络，
Only makes itself awkward.
只会显得很怪异、格格不入。
Many luxury houses built by developers in Taiwan are infested with gaudy ornaments.
在台湾，很多建商盖的所谓豪宅，装饰怂到爆，
Totally irrelevant to local culture and surrounding.
与在地文化跟环境毫不相干。
The message delivered by this kind of house probably is
那这样的房子所透露出来的讯息，可能是
the owner might be a parvenu, newly rich.
这里可能住了一个惨条啊，暴发户。
Next time you cruise along the streets, observing the buildings,
所以下一回你在逛街看房子的时候，
you can have a better idea of whether they are real architecture or not.
大概就可以知道哪一个才算是真正的建筑了吧。
Students, I travel a lot in foreign countries. I love the buildings or the architectures in other countries, like in Europe or the United States. And their houses are always so beautiful with a garden in front of them or the backyards. And in Taiwan, I think architect Simon might not be agree with those forms, our housing. Do you have any comment on this?
Yes, nowadays we like to use the so-called European style or fancy American home to describe our development. And I think that's not very appropriate because after all, European and American, they are of a totally different cultural context.
Yes.
And those forms are not necessarily compatible with our own culture. So before we want to use or copy those styles, we have to be very careful. Make sure they are compatible with our cultural context. Then we will use it.
Okay, that's a very good point. So you have to be relevant to your local culture, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Students, I hope that you have learned a lot from us to tell the differences between building and architecture. And we would like to see you next week. See you. Bye.
Bye.